Well, hello guys. This is William Davis, Director of Education for Wilson Daniels, and we are going live part two with Hugh Davies of Davies Vineyard and of Schramsberg. We had some challenges last week, as many of you did in the Instagram world, where our interview walking through the winery and tasting a few of the wines were from the new release of Davies Vineyard were moved to this week. But the neat thing is that we're going to be able to dive in with Hugh during a very important time of the year, and that is destemming and all of that fruit that's coming into the winery. So give us just a second. It looks like Hugh will be on in just a moment. I'll actually do a back view there as we wait for Hugh to come in, where we're going to be sitting out in the dock and watching the 2020 Cabernet Sauvignon that was just picked come into the winery. So let's dive with Hugh. Let's give him just a second here.
I'm done connecting.
There he is.
Hey,
His mask on. How are you, my friend?
William, how you doing, buddy? Take a look here. We've got some real action going at the Davies Winery today. So these are our female pickers only. Consuela and Michaela and Amy, they're doing a fine job. This is the first of the J. Davies Cabernet fruit to arrive at the winery. We started picking actually yesterday from the same block. This is called the Clay's Vineyard. But yeah, some good looking Cabernet coming across here. Fairly light yield. This particular area, kind of the southern and lowest elevation vineyard on our property, picked out a little less than 2 tons an acre. Somewhere maybe 1 3/4 ton. But small little cluster, fairly stringy, but delicious fruit. And looking to be, we'll say, smoke-free as well. So we're excited to be in it here with our Cabernet this week. We plan to do a couple of more days this week, and then there's expecting a little bit of additional heat to come in this weekend. We've had more moderate temperatures for a couple of weeks, but now we're seeing a little heat accumulating somewhere and moving our way. And then we'll probably pick up again in the week ahead. But exciting to get the Cabernet program going.
No, that certainly is.
I'll go ahead and hop down 1 second here.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of activity going on, and these are we always say that having a glass of wine or actually enjoying a bottle, there's so much activity and work that goes into it. Not simply just walking the vines or picking the fruit. This is where the rubber hits the road, for lack of a better term.
Absolutely. Hey, I'll show you. Check out the fruit that's down in the. This is Max who's sitting there, and you've got James on the other side. But this unit, so the fruit comes across, drops in, and then in frankly a really nice and delicate way, we're able to separate the berries, which end up in the bin here, and then here you've got the stems, which we don't want to be participating in the fermentation. So the object is to really get clean berries, and I'll show you a bin over here. This is kind of the end product of the day. All of these berries were hanging on vines just this morning. I was up in the vineyard this morning. A beautiful day actually here in Napa Valley. Maybe you can see the Vaca range off in the distance there, and on this side you can see the Mayacamas on the other side. But yeah, the first Cabernet of our season coming to the winery today.
No, it's so nice to see the clear skies now. It's after weeks of a haze over the valley.
It's moved. You know, you'll have a stretch that gets a little cleaner, and then you might over the weekend we had just a little smoke come back in, not from fires that are close, but more distant fires. And then now we're back to having really pretty beautiful skies. If you didn't know any different, you wouldn't know that there were fires burning in this area earlier in the year. Where they were really burning was off in this direction, though, William. On the if you look off in the distance here, you can see the ridge. That's the Vaca Range, and so to the east of that, we're on the west side of that range. That's where you had fires burning in Napa County.
Yeah,
Hope Valley area, Lake Berryessa, maybe places people have heard of.
No, so true. But I'm so happy to see things rolling along as we'd all hope, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen with the 2020 vintage. Did you get a chance to get any of the Malbec or any of the other varieties?
We haven't picked the Malbec yet. We started with this block of Cabernet before any of the Malbec. Often Malbec is first, and this year probably indicative of a little bit more crop in the Malbec blocks than the Cabernet. Pushing it back a touch, and so we are looking at potentially Friday this week. That's not a hard confirmed pick date, but that's a possibility. If not, we'll probably go into it early part of next week. And so, I think that knock on wood, as much of a challenge as this year has been, we are pretty confident that we're going to make some delicious Cabernets. Over here on my right shoulder, you guys might be able to see. I'll spin around. There's the winemaking team looking at. This is their little outdoor tasting table in the shade, I might add. But looking at the results of some bucket ferments that were done as we're, kind of doing as much analysis pre-harvest as we can on each of the different blocks, particularly with concern about smoke and how that might impact us. Thinking of ways to mitigate that if we can, or thinking of ways to, in the worst case scenario, we may have to leave some of that fruit out on the vine. But it's looking pretty good, I think, especially for the western side of the valley, the valley floor, the western hills. Here we are. Away we go.
Well, it's because what percentage of the fruit that comes in for Davies, although we don't bring a lot of those wines into the national market, how much fruit are you getting from Howell and from the Vaca range as opposed to the Mayacamas?
I can't hear you, I don't think.
I was saying, although, most of the fruit that, we focus on for the national team at Wilson Daniels coming from, the western side, from the Mayacamas and from Diamond Mountain, how many wines are you making with Vaca Mountain or Howell Mountain fruit?
So we have a Howell Mountain vineyard, Red Cap, that we're hoping we can work with this year. We also work with some vineyards up in Atlas Peak, Coombsville, which is at the base of the mountains at the southern end of the valley. We work with Little Calistoga, St. Helena, Oakville, all in the more of the valley floor locations. Part of the St. Helena is actually up towards the hospital, in kind of the foothills of the Vaca range, and then of course our Schramsberg property with the J. Davies Vineyards is up in the Diamond Mountain District. So about 6 of the sub-AVAs in Napa Valley are represented in the CAP program. Okay,
great. Well, we will keep our fingers crossed, but it seems like, everything is tasting well thus far. Again, look forward to seeing, what happens with the wines in barrel and in bottles. So, anything else that you want to share with the team before we put it on IG Live, or?
No, hey, thanks to everybody on the team for your help in promoting the wines during a difficult year. Certainly, we're doing our very best to make the next vintage come out beautifully. And also, I'll spin around here. You've got the Davies Winery behind me. Maybe I'll give you this little. If some of you guys have not been to the winery here in St. Helena, we'd love to have you stop in. We can do some pretty nice visits here, and we are definitely open for business. We're doing outside only, so I'll kind of peek around the back door, peeking in around the back, and there you go. See? Got some happy customers over there in our little outdoor tented area. And even when it gets hot, we now have the misters, and we've got the fans to keep things nice and cool back here. So anyhow, happy customers. Those guys. Yeah. Anyway, so we can have fun. We can have some fun here as well.
Hugh, you're famous. You're a celebrity.
Well, a little bit, and it is the family winery, so hopefully I'm recognized somewhere. But anyway, I'll spin it back around. Yeah, no, we're excited to be here, and definitely open for business. So it's a beautiful day, and we've got some happy customers.
Well, it's great to hear, and thanks for making the time. We really appreciate it. Coming back a second time to show us actually some activity in the winery, and what makes wine, I suppose. So, if there are any questions out there, feel free to, send a quick chat. If not,
there's Jenna.
Have a wonderful, hey, how's it going over there? It's, I'm just really surprised that, you got people, sitting down, having a glass of wine and, some cheese, something like that, at 11:30 in the morning. So it's a lunch of champions. I gotta say that.
No, we definitely have people coming to visit from out of state. As you can imagine, there quite a few people live in California, and so a good percentage of our visitors are generally from California. But there are plenty of people coming from out of state to visit, which is certainly welcome and exciting for all of us out here in the wine business. This is normally a pretty busy time because of harvest, but also because of visitation in this 2020 year with COVID, with fires. I'm sure that's chased a few people away, but we're good to let people know that we are open for business and excited to have them come.
Yeah, and it's a fantastic road trip for a lot of people that don't necessarily want to get on a plane. So anyone that hasn't been out for harvest in Napa, you definitely need to check it out.
This could be a good year to visit. It's not over. I would imagine you still have another 3-4 weeks. Honestly, some of the diehards will leave that Cabernet out there for quite some time, and beyond that there might be a few late harvest type things going on, but yeah, we're almost in October, so we're reaching the the final stretch, and it's Cabernet.
Wow, time flies, doesn't it?
It does. We started this year on August 5th with our first pick, so yeah, we're into it for probably 7 weeks already.
Well, I'm sure that everyone will be, glad to take a little bit of a break and just, watch numbers on the fermentation vats over the coming weeks and months.
Yeah, no, it'll be good. I think it'll be exciting to get this vintage in, and it'll be one that we'll obviously remember for a few years to come. Where were you in 2020? Oh yeah, that year. I remember that year.
I think we might have to enjoy a large format, bottle of Schramsberg and Davies.
I think we need to collectively agree that we're going to drink a lot of 2020 wine, and it's going to be great. How's that sound?
Agreed, my friend. All right. Well, thanks again for everybody joining. Looks like you buffered out there for a second, Hugh. So we'll see if we can get. There you have it. Could you actually repeat what you just said, Hugh? Because it buffered out on us just briefly there.
Thanks again to everybody for your support and hard work behind the brand. And reach out anytime that we can be of help to you. We'll be excited to get back out into the market, probably a little bit more in 2021. But here's to a good close of the year.
Absolutely. All right, Hugh. Back to work. There's no rest for us. Especially during this time. So, tell Sean, Jessica, and the team I said hello, and that everybody here at Wilson Daniels is thinking of them.
Excellent. Hey, thank you. Thumbs up, you guys. Here's a good, strong OND. Let's go. All right, I'll check out now. Bye-bye.
All right, my friend.